This week, I'm going to lead you through a short, gentle morning movement practice. So we're going to slowly get the whole body moving, and rather than focusing on stretching, we are going to focus on movement. Let's get started. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's practice. Today, you don't need any props unless you know that you need something soft under your knees. We are going to spend some time on our knees, so if you know that cushioning is needed, then have a blanket or a towel there next to your mat. But then we're going to start in a cross-legged seat. Take a moment to find your seat. How you cross your legs is completely up to you. And here as well, if you'd like to sit on a blanket or a small cushion, that's an option. But make sure your pelvis is free to move. So I'd say that for this first movement, sitting on a high block or a high bolster might not be the most comfortable idea. So we want to be able to move our pelvis. Once you have that seat, first let's take a few breaths in and out. Just let your shoulders soften. Let your neck soften. And let a few breaths sink down. Away from the shoulders, let them sink down towards the ribs. Let them sink down towards the belly. Give yourself a moment to arrive into your practice this morning. Check in how you feel. Check in where you might want to bring some movement to your body this morning. And as we go through the practice, you can focus on those areas. And you can focus on sending your breaths to those areas that you feel need movement this morning. And then from those few breaths, if you don't already, bring hands onto your knees. So have your hands just resting on your legs. And then we're going to start to circle the weight from one buttock to the other. So we are letting the spine move, but really the focus is on circling the weight from one corner of the pelvis to the other. So you're kind of leaning forward, leaning back. You might gently hang from your knees when you lean back, if that helps. You can lean your back forward as well. Finding a quite free flow movement. But first finding movement in the pelvis, hip area, and the spine kind of just resonates that movement. Let's change direction. And keep your shoulders soft, keep your neck soft. If you feel the movement trickles up along the spine, then let your back start to move more. It could be also a very small movement. Let's do a couple more with our focus down in the pelvis. Each circle might be different. So we're not really looking for a pattern, we're just finding movement where we feel that we need to move. And then we can change direction. And now start to send the movement more to your chest, your upper back, between the shoulder blades. You can still let the pelvis move as well. So we're not trying to block any movement, but now try to bring that movement a bit higher up along the spine. This is where you might let your neck, your head move more as well. And keep breathing. From an easy place, change the direction. So you can visualize your chest bone drawing circles in the air. You can visualize that space between the shoulder blades opening up, closing. Where can you find space for the breath? Let's do a couple more circles, feeling that whole upper spine moving. Last circle. And then bring your spine back to center, what feels like center, and leave the back soft, leave the shoulders soft. Bring arms now next to your sides, next to the pelvis. From here, as you inhale, lengthen the arms upwards. Just let the arms float up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring the arms sideways down. You could nod your head down a bit. Same again. As you inhale, bring the arms sideways up. So you can reach the spine just a bit taller. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do one more round. In breath, arms lengthen up. The back lengthens up. You might even look up. And exhale, bring the arms down. And now step hands behind the pelvis and step your feet on the mat. There could be a bit of space between the feet, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Start to swing your knees from side to side, the windshield wipers movement. And really let your pelvis move. So as the knees go to left, the right buttock can come off the mat. As the knees go to right, the left buttock can come off the mat. So maybe there's some twisting through the spine. Maybe you feel this movement all the way up in your shoulders. Couple more times from side to side. The next time when you bring your knees to your right, leave them there and then start to turn your chest to your right. And we're going to twist. So twist it there. You could bring your left hand to your right knee, right hand somewhere on the mat, still kind of next to you, behind you. And now twisting, turning the chest gently to the right. Left buttock can be happily off the mat. Or if it feels better for you, you might ground your left buttock down. Take another breath in and out. Active twist. And then with the next breath, bring that left hip down. And again, bring both hands down. Couple of times, swing the knees. And then leave your knees to your left side. And again, we're going to turn chest to left. Now, right hand could be on the left knee. Left hand on the mat. Turn chest to your left. And let the breath fill the chest. Maybe it goes all the way down towards the belly area. Let the breath help with a twist. And not forcing with the arms, just gently turning the chest. Take another breath in and out. And then release that twist. And now step hands close to that left knee. And we're going to bring ourselves onto all fours, onto hands and knees. You could take a moment to find hands roughly under the shoulders, knees roughly under the hips. And this is where you could now bring something soft under the knees if needed. You might untuck the toes or tuck the toes under. And we'll continue with that twisting as we go into thread the needle. First side, leave your right hand down. As you inhale, reach your left arm up, twisting your chest again to the left. And then as you exhale, slide that left arm under the right arm so that you lean your left shoulder, the side of the head on the mat. We'll do same again. Right hand pressing down, reach your left arm up, opening the chest, maybe turning the head, or maybe you look down to the mat. And exhale, slide your left arm under the right. And again, you could lean your head down, leave your hips high up. Once more with the in-breath, reach your left arm up, twisting to the left. Keep the neck soft. And exhale, slide that left arm down. And I will pause here for a breath or two. If you want, you could extend the right arm overhead. Gentle twist. And still keeping the hips quite high up. And then let's come back. Bring the right hand back down. And now lift yourself onto all fours, onto hands and knees. And then leave your left hand on the mat. Slide the left knee a bit further forward and turn out to the long side of the mat into a gate pose. And here, if it feels okay, lengthen your right arm closer to the head so you're opening the whole right side body. If you want, you can stay here. I'm going to suggest that we lift the right leg up into the air. We find a bit of balancing, waking up the core, and then add some movement here. As you exhale, bring your right knee and right elbow together in front of you. And then as you inhale, reach them out. In the right arm next to the head and right leg far away from the head. Same again, as you exhale, bring the right elbow, the right knee together. And inhale, reach them far apart. Once more, waking up the core. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow together. And then inhale, lengthen them far apart. Lower the right foot down. Bring your right hand down. Bring both knees onto the mat. And then lean your pelvis down and back into child's pose. Could be also wide-legged child's pose. Try to lean your head onto something, whether it's the mat or maybe bring hands under the head. And give yourself a few breaths here. Now focus on the movement of the breath. Sliding in, sliding out. Let the shoulders soften. Let your hands soften. And we'll take another breath in and out. And then from your child's pose, bring yourself back onto hands and knees. Now we're going to do those two poses, the gate and thread the needle, the opposite way, so reversing the order on the other side. Leave your right hand down, slide the right knee tiny bit further forward so that you could then turn now to the other long side of the mat. You lift your left arm up into the air. Check that your right hand stays under the right shoulder. And then see if you can lengthen that left arm closer to the head. And either stay here or lift your left leg up into the air. And again, we could start to move from here. So now with your exhalation, bring your left elbow, left knee closer together. And then as you inhale, stretch them far apart. Open the chest. Again, exhale, bring the left elbow, left knee together. And then inhale, reach them far apart. Keep pressing down through the right arm. Once more. You could exhale, bring the elbow and left knee together. And inhale, lengthen them far apart. And then slowly bring the left foot down. Bring the left hand down and turn your both knees down to the mat. Turn your chest down to the mat. Leave your left hand down, and as you inhale, reach your right arm up. So now going for that twist opening chest to the right. Exhale, slide your right arm under the left. Thread the needle. You can lean your head on the mat. Left hand stays down. We're going to inhale again. Reach the right arm up, twisting out to the right. And exhale, slide the right arm under the left. Open chest to the left. Once more, as you inhale, reach the right arm up. Again, you might look down. You don't have to turn the head. And exhale, slide your right arm under the left. And now let's stay here a couple of breaths. Again, we'll keep the hips quite high up. If you want, you could lengthen the left arm towards the top of the mat. Just gently press that right shoulder down so we're not collapsing on the shoulder, we're not collapsing on the neck. We keep breathing. And then bring the left hand back under the shoulder and lift yourself onto hands and knees. Now straighten your both legs into a plank. So checking in with the core, shift the weight forward to the hands and then slowly bend the elbows. Bring yourself slowly all the way down onto the mat. Release the toes, keep your legs long. Reach arms either next to you so that you keep your palms down on the mat. Or interlock fingers behind the pelvis, bring hands together. Wherever your arms are, as you inhale, peel your chest off the mat. Find a little cobra pose. So not a big back bend, just more a chest opening and trying to lift the front of the shoulders off the mat. And find a couple of breaths to that chest space. Keep your legs long and active. Keep the front of the legs, fronts of the feet on the mat. Take another breath in and out. Just enjoy your breathing. And then slowly exhale, release down. Step hands under your shoulders. As you inhale, lift onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. And then exhale, lift all the way up into downward facing dog. Now finding some more opening the backs of the legs. You could move here, walk from one foot to the other, maybe turning a bit from side to side. You can also walk from one hand to the other. And you can bend the knees. So knees could stay really bent through this whole movement. From your downward facing dog, start to slowly walk your hands and feet together so that your hands and feet meet somewhere in the middle of the mat. Shift the weight onto your feet so you find yourself in a full forward bend. You could release the weight of your hands for a breath or two. Knees can stay bent. And then with the next breath or two, walk yourself back into downward dog. Just letting the hands and feet move. Rather than fixing ourselves in one place, we'll keep the body mobile. After a breath or two in downward dog, we're going to do that same again. So walk your feet forward towards the hands, or walk your hands towards the feet. Shift the weight onto the feet, release the hands. Take a couple of breaths in full forward bend. If you feel that there's space to straighten the legs more, you might try that. But don't force it. Sometimes forward bends can be really intense in the morning. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to walk once more back into downward dog. A few breaths in downward dog, really
Reach the pelvis up and back. Let the heavy head drop down. And then from this downward dog, we're going to try to go sitting down. And you can find your own way, or you could try to kind of start twisting through the legs, crossing the legs, and then bring yourself onto your pelvis so that you could then roll your back down. Bring yourself to lie down on the back and leave your knees bent. We have a couple more movements here, lying down on the back. And the first one is the bridge. So now have your feet maybe roughly hip width apart. Where do you feel? You can press the feet down, arms next to your sides. Gently press the backs of the shoulders down. Inhale, and as you exhale, press the feet down to lift the pelvis, to lift the back off the mat, opening the chest. Inhale up in your bridge. And then exhale, release the back, release the pelvis down. Be gentle with your neck. This could be a big stretch in the neck, again, especially in the morning. Same again, as you exhale, press the feet down, lift your pelvis, lift your back up. Inhale up in your bridge and exhale, release down. We'll do one more round, staying there a few breaths and really try to keep inner thighs engaged. As you exhale, once more, lift your pelvis up. Now we'll take a few breaths here. Keep your big toes grounded. Keep your heels grounded. And feel that engagement through the inner thighs, to your pelvis, to your spine. Still space for the breath. One more breath, in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly soften down. Once your pelvis is down, you could hug the knees in, maybe crossing the ankles. Just rock a few times from side to side. You might reach your right hand to the left foot, left hand to the right foot, if that feels good for you. You might cross your ankles the other way and take another few breaths, just hugging the knees or moving what feels good for you, what releases your back after those bridges. And then from hugging the knees, for a moment, maybe just for a few breaths, if you still have time, bring your feet down and either extend your legs into Shavasana pose or just keep your knees bent and now lean your knees inwards against each other, walking the feet a bit further out to the sides of the mat. You bring hands onto your belly. One hand on the chest, the other hand down on the belly. And give yourself maybe just a few breaths here to slowly calm down. Find a bit of stillness before we close the practice. We've done a lot of movement. And you still have that inner movement, your breath flowing in, flowing out. Notice how stillness feels like now. Can we find some stillness and calm? Let the breath slow down. And just notice how you feel now. If you feel that you're not quite ready yet to move on, if you're not yet ready to start your day, then let yourself stay here just a bit longer. Take the time that you need. If you feel that you start to be sleepy again, maybe it's time to slowly start coming out of that resting pose. So when you feel ready, gently move your fingers, your toes. Maybe stretch your body long on the mat. And then from lying down, lean onto one side to bring yourself up into a seat. But remember, you might take a bit longer to close your practice. So if you still want to stay in that resting pose, take your time. There is no rush. And once you find the end of your practice, as always, thank yourself. Most importantly, thank yourself for bringing yourself into the practice this morning, for checking in, for moving, for breathing with your body. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining in. And if you enjoyed the practice, please give the video a thumbs up and leave your comment below. I always love to hear how you felt after the practice. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There will be loads and loads more yoga related videos coming up. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.